Alright, come on in, hit the like button, think about subscribing if you're ready. You're new here, welcome to the channel, but most importantly, welcome to the Viking family. So just a heads up, I do have my little heater on, so if you hear that, hopefully it's not too bad, but just to let you know. But here's my review for the 2025 horror/fantasy film called A Night's War. Here's the plot, and it's kind of weird. A fearless knight braves a deadly realm to save the chosen one's soul. Facing witches, demons, and brutal foes, he discovers her return could inundate chaos and doom humanity. Here's some of the cast. You know, despite this clearly being a small budget, high school looking project film, even though it technically wasn't, it has the look of it, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. In fact, a lot of it impressed me, surprisingly. At least 80% of the film was practical sets, practical effects, and really good makeup and props. Really cool designs for the most part. However, the knight's armor was a little goofy in certain spots. And there was some scenes with poor background CGI that was like really obvious, but for the most part, it looks like they use like prop foam and stuff for the castles and stuff, and it looks like they used actual fog throughout. You know, like a big fog machine, because they really went out without that. Speaking of which, this was also pretty creepy a lot of the time. Definitely a good mixture of horror vibes and D&D fantasy vibes. And I don't know much about Dungeons and Dragons, the game, outside of, I have friends over at Old School, or not, Old School Reacts. He plays this on Dungeons and Dragons on that, and then also the factor that my introduced to it actually was Stranger Things. So I don't really know that much, but I envisioned this would be pretty much what it would look like if they had a TV show around them doing it, and this is like going back and forth. And I think there's like a Dungeons and Dragon comedy sketch channel. I don't know what it is called, but I believe there is one, and it's like this. It goes from them playing as normal people in their get-up costumes, and then they go into this fantasy world that's what they're playing as. So that's what pretty much it is. The score was very intense, but had a very evened out mixture between the score and dialogue. So you could actually hear the dialogue pretty well, in my opinion. At least I had headphones on, but you could also hear the booming of the score. Also love the times they put in creepy old folk, tribal-like music. Now, there was some parts in the beginning with lack of logic that bothered me. And this is a little bit of a spoiler, but there were two women who were, I don't know, it's a little bit, but there's two women that were set on fire. For some reason, only one burnt to a crisp. The other one was still tied and didn't. I don't understand that logic, but whatever. The character writing could have used more work, and the story wasn't the best, but was entertaining enough to keep the viewers invested. Here's my rating. I'll come back to my final thoughts. Alright, so leave your comments down below. I'm very curious on this one. But overall, what I think of this film, I have mixed thoughts on it. Now, it does give you the impression, again, that it comes off like a very small budget, high school extra credit film, or even a play at times. Not necessarily a bad thing. But they did a really good job with putting the budget, from far as I don't know what the budget is, on most of the practical effects, most of practical anything, a little bit of CGI here and there, and it definitely has its horror factor, and it's not overdone. It's definitely very creepy vibes, and I do have criticism of the character writing and the writing overall. I think they could have spent more time with giving a lead up to the main character, the knight, even the woman. It just felt like they kind of rushed it into a point and then started the movie. It just kind of they immediately jump right in after a flashback, and yeah, so definitely criticisms of the writing overall. But overall, I think it's something to check out if you are interested in small budget films. I think it's entertaining. Do I think it's something that I would ever watch again? Definitely not. Um, but that's all I really gotta say about it. I don't feel like I can actually bash it because really, other than the writing, it was actually very, very, thought out with the practical effects. And again, I keep going on about it because that's one of the factors that wowed me, was because I wasn't expecting it. I thought it was going to be more CGI than anything. But again, there was background parts with CGI, and it is what it is. So it's definitely something to check out if you're interested. It's not like something I'm going to hype up to do, have you check it out type of thing, but it's definitely something very interesting. Definitely something you could, if you have a class that is I don't really call it some sort of art class where the acting classes, I think, or a play, this could definitely have a day where you show this, and it's even though I don't think you could show this at school, maybe like community college or something, but it's definitely something like that I would recommend it. It's not even close to being an average good film, but it's very interesting to learn off of. But anyways, remember, I love you all. Please stay safe. Spread love most importantly. Skull.